Welcome to Fire Engineering's Training Minutes. My name's Todd Taylor. I'm a battalion chief with the Wayne Township Fire Department. We're here with Kurt Connect, Zors Incorporated. Today we have a city garbage truck that's rolled over on top of a car. The size of the streets and the amount of work that these guys are doing is a real possibility that this could happen. We look at the garbage truck, we have to actually know what it weighs or have a possibility of understanding what it weighs. Our partners with the tow and recovery industry know those weights. Kurt, typical garbage truck, what do you think it's going to weigh?
On average, they can range from about 35,000 up to about 70,000 pounds, Tom.
And with that amount of weight, it's going to be difficult for us to do a lift without our partners in the tow and recovery industry. There are some things that we can do as we arrive on the scene before they arrive. We can stabilize the vehicle and stabilize the truck itself just in case there were a failure either on the car or the truck. As we do that, we're going to stabilize the car with 4x4s and wedges. We're going to stabilize the truck with some struts. What we've got is actually a dump bed to the back of this particular garbage truck. What you have to do is ensure that you've secured all moving parts. In order to do that, we're using a chain. Chain is going to hold everything in place, but we still have to apply tension to the chain. You see us putting in a turnbuckle. Turnbuckle is going to allow us to tighten that chain and secure the load. We're not wanting to pull this load back into itself, we're just wanting to ensure that it's not going to move for rescue or safety. As we lift or as we stabilize, without chaining that in place, it would kick out on us and possibly dump the load. The use of turnbuckles is something new to the fire service. Ensure that you've got with your private tow and recovery industry to ensure you understand the proper use of turnbuckles. Although we have this pre-rigged, as you respond in as first responders, you're going to have to stabilize the scene prior to the tow and recovery industry getting here. With the amount of weight that's on the vehicle right now, you may only be able to get a wedge and a 2x4 or a wedge in place until we can get the weight of the vehicle lifted off. We also have to strut the truck itself, just to make sure that we don't have a failure on the car or on the truck itself. The struts are going to be in place to capture whatever small load might shift. In this case, we've used a chain cluster on the front of the vehicle in order to catch the frame itself. Ensure that you have a good chain cluster on your rig. We're also using a chain come-along to show you that you can use heavier equipment inside this scenario. With the struts and the cribbing in place, this scene is as safe as it can be until the tow and recovery industry can come to capture the load. With the arrival of our partners in the tow and recovery industry, they're able to capture this load. Kurt has done some very interesting things in order to capture that. Kurt, what have you done?
I've put 2 straps in place to equally control the lift off of the casualty. I've also put 2 other straps and winch cables in place to control the fall of the truck as it uprights.
So as this lifts and goes and transitions from its point where it's down past its center point, we have to capture that so it doesn't fall. By doing that, both winch cables are in place. The tow and recovery industry can capture that. If we were to try to lift with airbags or struts, we would not be able to capture that once it leaves its center point. Be very cautious on that. Tow and recovery operator is going to apply tension to the straps, then our firefighters are going to go in and recover the struts. The rescue officers with a tow and recovery operator with our remote control, we're going to continue the lift. As we continue this lift, it's a very technical operation. As you can see, the tow and recovery operator tensioning and loosening cables so that he controls the load. Load is being very well controlled. It's past its center point at this time. hasn't fallen over because we've got the recovery straps on board. You want to ensure that all your rescuers are out of the collapse zone, just like we would in any other situation while this operation is going on. The weight's been transitioned to the lower boom at this point. With the load safely on the ground now, this becomes our bread and butter vehicle extrication. Go back in, restabilize the car, extricate the victim. In this segment, we've shown how our partners in the tow and recovery industry can help us with a very technical rescue by removing the load from the vehicle and then bringing it back to a bread and butter operation. Thank you for watching this segment of Training Minutes. My name's Todd Taylor. Thank you to Hell Matro for sponsoring this segment of Training Minutes.